Alright guys, so in this video, I just wanted to discuss what is going on with college basketball courts. There are a few really distinct, different college basketball courts. I would say three main ones and then a few other ones that have unique designs. Certainly, I would say 90+% of people hate a lot of these designs. They think they're obnoxious. They are, some of them, very distracting when it comes to watching the game on TV. And these teams, they're trying to do different things. These are not your typical blue bloods of college basketball. And we will begin, of course, we have to begin with the Oregon court, which has been this way, I want to say, since like 2011. I mean, you can see a game way back with that old scoreboard there, and they still have that crazy court design. And yeah, in terms of this design, kind of like a forest with the brown and kind of like the yellow, almost to symbolize fall. Don't get me wrong, it's cool for like a one-off non-conference game against Bryant. But in terms of playing every game like this, man, this is tough to watch. I couldn't watch any of that NBA in-season tournament. I mean, those courts were even more obnoxious. The color schemes were so bright. But Oregon, I can kind of understand the idea behind this. You want something exotic. We know Oregon football, they're known for the 500 different uniform combinations and what have you. You're trying to do something different. You're not a perennial power. I get it, but maybe limit it to a few times a year or something. I just think it's so obsessive, but this is kind of their thing. I mean, at least Oregon, they were kind of the original ones to do this, and you can see the main design with kind of the center, the normal color, and then around it, it's just a bunch of like little trees and fall leaves. And look, it's a nice design, but when you're watching the game and you're constantly looking at it and the ball is blending into it as they're bouncing it, I mean, that's the problem. The ball blends into it. But that is Oregon and their basketball court design. Next, we do have Memphis. Now, Memphis seemingly has toned it down this year at the FedEx Forum, which is actually an NBA arena. But you can see they've got the claw going across it. It's kind of subtle. I think it looks ugly, though, man. Like, when you're watching a fast break and you just see that claw, there's just something very annoying about it. Most of the court, like from the three-point lines, is completely clean. And then behind the basket, you do have the blue, which I really don't mind. But yeah, also the fact that the Memphis, like the letters are off-centered to where, right under the baseline. That's another thing that I'm annoyed with just when watching Memphis University play at home. However, Memphis, they used to have, oh my goodness, this light, weird blue color going all the way around past the three-point lines on each side. It's just an ugly design, I think, man. That's like their alternate design. Yeah, Memphis. Well, think about it. This does make sense that Memphis would do this, considering they need to try and do something to differentiate themselves from everyone else, considering they do play at an NBA arena, which is always so tough. The next basketball court we're going to be looking at, it is Washington. So Washington just going with the standard skyline there at the bottom. We've seen NBA teams do this. It's very subtle. I don't mind it. It's not distracting. It's a nice little touch. Good job by Washington there. And then these are just mock court designs that I thought were really cool. Maybe cool is not the right word because they would be very obnoxious to look at. But when you're looking at them just aerial with nobody on the court, they do look kind of sweet. You can see the Miami, all, palm tree design going around. That's kind of copying Oregon with the trees. I mean, it really is just copying them, but there's that design. Yeah, I think that these court designs were based off of Oregon as kind of an homage to them. You can see the swamp, LSU. Dude, that would be rough. You got all the little weeds sticking up right there. Hawaii, all the flowers. Oh, that color is so obnoxious. Hawaii should do this when they have a non-conference game against a Division II school, because all these teams have just horrible non-conference schedules, because they do face Division II schools. Have the court like this. Just do it for one game. Nebraska, with the corn going up, the red corn. Nice little logo there. Arizona, those do not look like cactuses. Yeah, that's not the first thing I thought of, but Arizona right there. Louisville, what is that? KFC? The Colonel? Oh, that's disturbing to look at. That looks like a gimmick logo. The KFC Yum Center, and then Colorado. That's sweet. No, Colorado seriously should do that. You play a non-conference game where you're 40-point favorites. Do a design like that. I wonder how much something like that would cost, though. Maybe they can raise money for it. I don't know. UNLV. Oh, yeah, that kind of speaks for itself in Las Vegas. I don't think that's allowed, but there is that one as well. And then this was just a fan design. This is really clean. The duck. Yeah, this never happened. It's just like an art design by a fan on the court there. There's another Memphis design, so a more subtle look, really, before they started evolving into the craziness. You can see pretty typical. They also have the bridge there at the bottom. That's cool, along with the skyline of Memphis. Ohio State, very nice here. A lot of teams have been doing this where they will put the state outline right in the center court, behind the logo and kind of darken it a little bit. It's a very subtle design, but it looks really good. So Ohio State with a good job there when it comes to that. And then you do have Colorado. They've got some nice mountains at the bottom. That's another nice design. Very subtle, it's not distracting, but it's there and you can see it and it's darker. This is Florida International, so this is another one that's a pretty crazy design. It looks like there's that is just so annoying to play on because there's water covering the 1 3-point line. Guys, I mean, what are we doing here? And then you've got some nice leaves from palm trees on the other side. But yeah, that's Florida International right there. This is West Virginia. So you look at West Virginia and you might be saying that's pretty normal, but it is just absurdly yellow. Their court is just like the color of yellow. It's so dark yellow. It's almost strange. When you're really dehydrated and your pee comes out darker, that's what it looks like. And then Vanderbilt, there's nothing wrong with the court. There is an issue with, the 7 or 8 feet right beyond the sideline. I just hate that. The fact that there's a massive gap there. I don't know. To me, it just looks really tacky on TV. I guess you could say it's something, organic and unique about the gymnasium there. The next one, Texas A&M. That's pretty sweet. You also do kind of have a light checkerboard going on there. So that's a nice one there. This is Northern Kentucky. Not too bad. Not too bad going off of their name there with the logo. Colorado State, pretty sweet, using the Rams kind of going around the free throw line there along with the 3-point line, kind of using that as a design tool. I can respect it. It's symmetrical. It's nice. It doesn't look like it's taking up too much space or overwhelming or anything like that. Northwestern, I always thought this was ugly, and I don't think Northwestern does this anymore. Northwestern's actually pretty good this year. But I just don't like that purple design on a court. I think it looks tacky personally. UCF, I think that kind of works just because it's darker. But yeah, UCF with an interesting design. They just joined the Big 12. And then Long Beach State. If you guys don't know, Long Beach State plays in a pyramid. Number one, what is going on with that seating concoction? They've got... Oh, that's so strange. They have stairs coming down the side where there's normally seats, and then they've just got some random sections right there along with it kind of looks barren. The court design looks really barren, like some palm trees that are about to die. But yeah, Long Beach State, and then you do have Indiana, kind of the Ohio, and then you do have Indiana, kind of like a throwback logo there with their state. Looks like an older type logo, really fits them. In terms of that, this is just doing too much. This is San Jose State, and you've got the Spartans in the front. Is it not obnoxious, ladies and gentlemen? That's obnoxious. Let's not, you know what? And they also have the logo off center. Oh, that's terrible. The logo is not even in the center court because the Spartans are taking up the whole bottom. It's just not a good design, guys. Come on. And how could I forget one of the more famous ones? This is probably number 2 and most famous weird, or maybe number 3. Because Oregon has to be number 1. Maybe Memphis is number 2. But this is right there. The amount of people that complain about this. And it's almost like a snakeskin. TCU. I feel like TCU did this because, let's be honest, their basketball program is just completely forgotten about. So they were like, you know what? We're just going to mess with our floor. We don't really care anymore. And their basketball program is not bad. I mean, they'll have decent years. This year, they might make the tournament. And I think, it looks like a snakeskin. It is really cool. But I can also understand why people would think it's annoying. Looking at it from TV, yeah, it looks pretty brutal. But either way, those are just some random different college basketball court designs that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on X. Link to that's always in the description.